Well, it's great to be here in San Diego, and what an honor just to see so many turn out in support of our men and women in uniform. They're hearing your voice here tonight across the ocean in places like Iraq and Afghanistan. In the 1940s, when this warship was built, veterans fresh from fighting rallied the American public to give them the stuff, and they would get the job done. America responded, and they kept their word. Tonight, in a different war, in a different time, and facing a different culture, we, the returning veterans of this war, beg America, don't quit. Give us your support. We can get this done. But some, to console the veterans of this war, they state that their actions to cut the troops and pull funding and portray the war as a hopeless endeavor are not meant for the troops, but are intended to be a strong message to the president. That's like someone coming up to you at work, punching you in the gut, and say, "That wasn't for you, I like you. That was for your boss." If that's the kind of support that some Americans want to offer us, we reject it. We despise it. It rubs against the grain of everything inside us as soldiers and defenders of America. How is it that some Americans have come to believe that defeat is better for our nation than victory? And what kind of logic is it that would think failure provides us security? That the patriot is the real threat to our nation, and that the jihadist is advancing his brand of freedom? How have Americans become a people that honor the celebrity other than folks like John Voight, but giving them full press, those that would liaise with dictators and spew damaging opinions of America, while the soldier is sidelined as some unfortunate sap for actually expecting Americans at home to stand behind him until the job is done? How is it that defeat at the hands of the jihadist has become good, and standing against their terror is somehow evil? I'm at a loss to say. But the impact has made the soldiers' work overseas more difficult. The energy and expense that these Americans who have promoted failure in this war would likely have delivered victory by now, if born from a belief of sacrifice and service to our nation. If thoroughly examined, with few exceptions, the majority of those opposing this war have done nothing to ease the burden of the soldier, and they have most likely never even served or sacrificed anything for this nation. And even though some war opponents have sent care packages to soldiers as a gesture of goodwill, we would much rather have America's commitment than America's cookies. Dwight Eisenhower declared, "In the final choice, a soldier's pack is not so heavy as a prisoner's chains." The soldier, the sailor, the airman, the Marine, the Coast Guardsman, they all accept that burden. All they ask is, let them finish the job. What shall we say? What more can we give to our nation than the type of sacrifice that we have given already? What words can we, the soldiers, use to convince these Americans at home that oppose the war that the biggest mistakes being made in this war are on the home front and not the battlefront? What will be the value of their temporary civilian comforts and the illusion of national safety when a giant shadow of jihadist terrorism is casting itself onto our shores? And what will be the meaning of the rhetoric and the political debate when we sift through the rubble of a workplace, a shopping mall, or public transit, digging out American bodies targeted for no other reason than our way of life and who we are as a people? It is a scene that every soldier who has witnessed it abroad will fight with all of his might to keep away, but we never thought that our own people at home would betray our efforts. We all want to come home, but to safe homes, and not until we win. If we fail our nation, what's next? Do we extend this same attitude of non-involvement to our communities, our places of worship, our own children? There are still things worth fighting for in our great country. America has never been built on the labor and hard work of the cynic and the critic. Americans of the past knew how to sacrifice, and they knew the difference between what was evil and what was good, who was a threat and who was harmless, whether to live free or quit and die. So where do we go from here? What can Americans do at this critical hour? America must sacrifice today along with her men and women in uniform. We must be more than an army at war and a nation at peace. Here are some things America can sacrifice on behalf of her soldiers. Sacrifice doubt. Sacrifice anxiety. Sacrifice any notion that will cause us to come home from this war as losers. It will not be enough to remember our service and our losses in this war on slabs of white marble and national monuments of black stone. That is only remembering, and it's not enough. If we want to honor those who will never come home, the true heroes, who gave up their youth, their future, their ability to love, who will never raise a family in the very freedoms that their sacrifice purchased, or live to a ripe old age to see their grandchildren, then we must honor what they fought for and honor it with victory. They are the true heroes that we honor tonight, and we owe them no less. Americans today are so apprehensive, and we fret about so many things. But the difference between what is good and evil has not changed. Only our ability as a nation to identify it. Thank you for keeping the faith with us and showing up here tonight. Don't ever quit. God bless you all. I want to introduce to you, thank you.